Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take. Got no votes to make, we don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. African man, yeah.
Welcome.
Tino, what's good, man?
What's happening, gents? Finally.
We're here.
We did it.
Man.
Wow.
We did it.
Episode 1.
Episode
Yeah.
one.
Episode 1, yo.
Episode 1.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the African Male Iris.
Yeah. Applause.
Yes.
And this is from a male perspective, man. We're going to be covering so many topics and issues that surround men, but not only centered around men. It's going to also benefit the women, and we're looking to cover an array of generations. I think
Absolutely.
from the ages of 25, you're still finding yourself as a young African, even the ones that are now middle-aged, like ourselves, you know, and some that are even older than us.
You guys can speak for yourselves. I'm young. It's Nivea for men working over here.
I'm sure you'll be able to relate to some of the topics that we'll be covering. You know, my name is DJ Tino, and I'll have the gents on the cast here to also
Introduce ourselves.
introduce themselves.
Yeah. I'm Slim. They call me Slim.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am Prayer Soul, and I am a musician. I love music and I love real estate and business and everything in between. So that's mainly what I do, and I can talk for hours. This is why I'm
That's
here.
why we have to steal the mic from you here and there, man.
That's why Mudiwa has to like cut me off. We're not getting audio from Prayer. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for joining us and for watching it. This first episode, the African Male Iris. So we came together and we wanted to have conversations about the African male. We wanted to talk about the real, authentic conversations about what it is to be an African male and the people that we affect, how we live our lives. And just before we started, Slim was going very deep about this. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to have really deep, honest conversations about what it's like to be an African male and what the African society thinks. So we want to hear from what women think, and we're going to get into what our first episode is going to be about. But I think what's important is for us to sort of give you a summary of why this podcast and why you should listen to it and what our big message is. And I think for me, the thing that resonated with me the most was the fact that as African males, we grow up with very little accountability. We
True,
can
man.
get away with some shit.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
Diwa, you can keep that.
Yeah.
I'll explain to my people
Yeah.
later. We can get away with some stuff. I mean, like, guys, no one reprimands you all the time, you know, so you can always do stuff and then be like, yeah, you know what, it's just who I am. It's, you know, it is what it is.
Is that feared for the figure?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and I
very
think it's
much.
important to sort of create a place where we can have conversations about that and be able to sort of question ourselves and say, oh, is this really what we want to be? You know, there's always conversations globally about societies, and I think the African male society needs to have a more honest and real conversation about our accountability, because just as African males, we used to be, when you read the history of where we come from, we used to be great. You know, we've got great African stories about great African kings who built empires, and they had systems, and they had, I mean, like, you know, some of these people sound like movie stars.
Yeah.
But that's part of our genealogy, and that's who we really are deep down. And I feel like we're just caught up in this, you know, 21st century, trying to figure out who we were and who we are now and who we want to be. So for me,
Effects of slavery and stuff.
yeah, you know, there's so much that we've gone through, colonialism, slavery. We've got
Western culture.
Western culture, getting into and then trying to balance out the African traditions and your heritage, your identity, and still be a modern man. And all of the issues around that for me are things that I think we need to definitely, dive into.
Get into. Oh yes,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And also, I think what's quite integral is the role that African men play in their own families and in the community at large.
Yeah.
And then also being self-aware of that role and how you can actually play your part in building for the future generations.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we'll be covering all these aspects. Looking even at dating, relationships, marriage. We're looking at mental health. Covering what to do as men. The importance of just gathering as men, having conversations, being accountable to each other. Those aspects. And we bring women. We're going to be bringing a lot of women as well to the conversations to also hear their point of view. Right?
Yeah, that's going to be
gonna be
Those are
hard.
going to be
It's gonna
spicy
be hard,
conversations.
but,
I must say, it's very spicy conversations.
Yes.
So I think today, what we've kind of done today is to come up with three main topics that we want to cover not in detail, but we also want the audience to have a say on our first topic and what we're going to talk about in length. So we have three topics today, and the first one is individual identity as an African male. Knowing who you are, where you come from, how you grew up in your
DNA.
own family as a sibling and as a son or daughter, okay? Because I know we're going to have women also commenting on our show. And just what you need to have figured out, really, as a young African male before you think of even becoming a husband or father, right? Number two, we're looking at red flags. What you think about that, man?
Hey, man. I've been having this conversation with a couple of people very close to me. My partner, and one thing that's been coming up a lot is red flags, and it's not just from a perspective.
Are you saying your partner's got red flags?
No, man, no, not all, dog.
We all have red
I'm just
flags,
trying
though.
to get you into trouble after the first episode.
So, guys, if you see Slim is not here next week,
He was
you know the story.
yeah. Go ahead, Slim.
No, man, we all have red flags, and they're not just between relationships. The toxic traits can span across your personal relationship with family, friends, your partners, and even in business.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're not self-aware of these toxic traits, right, they will affect those relationships. And the second that you're not self-aware, it means that you're not going to have any accountability, like what you're saying, prayer.
Right.
And once you lack accountability, it means you'll never be in a position to actually address those red flags. There's no way you're going to point it out that, I think I have this character flaw that I need to work on.
Right.
And you will never afford yourself the opportunity for growth. Because when you then address your red flags, at the end of the tunnel, there's always growth.
Right.
So I feel like as African men, we need to be in a position to actually accept the fact that we have red flags.
Right.
And then once you accept the fact that you have a red flag, right, be open to wanting to work on that red flag.
So guys,
once you
that's deep.
Yo.
I'm not sure if you guys see these canisters
Yo,
at the
Slim.
front.
Yeah.
So there's T for Tino.
That's my offering.
So there's
No, that's deep.
we
That's
got
deep.
canisters here. We got T for Tino, S for Slim, and P for prayer. So if you say something deep, we just have to throw something.
Throw some money in there.
So the 10 rand notes you're gonna be seeing, someone would have said something that is
Absolutely.
that is hectic,
Yes.
right?
I like that. Yes. Yes.
thanks.
No, definitely.
All
And I
right.
think, and the third topic that we're gonna offer to you guys, so you guys then get to pick which one is gonna be our first official episode. The third one is the pressure of being an African male. The pressure that
hectic out there.
Yeah, you know. I think what I like about this topic specifically is the fact that African males are expected to be alpha males.
Yeah.
It's just a low-key, unspoken rule. You're just supposed to, you're supposed to have everything in order. You're supposed to be self-aware. You're supposed to know how to make money. You're supposed to be presentable. You're supposed to be educated. You're supposed to be confident. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be a great listener. You're supposed to be a good masseuse.
Yeah, right. Like the most random
I
things.
know. You're supposed to be a good masseuse. You need to be able to give good massages.
Yeah.
You need to have general etiquette. You need to know how to run a business. You
Yeah.
need to know how to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You need to be charming. You need to be friendly. You need there's so much stuff that should be a norm, and I feel like a lot of guys don't even know how to express that. Oh, I'm struggling with this one thing, or I'm struggling with all of these
With
things.
anything.
Like I am really not. I'm not feeling like I'm good at anything.
Because naturally, as men, the society will never afford you an opportunity to address your feelings. It's one of those. You're a man. You need to take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to
And
move
that's
on.
and not
Yeah.
and the funny thing about that is that it's not just an internal thing where you give yourself expectations of what you need to do with your life. It's also the expectations of your siblings.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be the expectations of your parents. It's going to be the expectations of your relatives. It's going to be the expectations of your friends.
Yeah.
It's going to be the expectations of whoever your partner is. So naturally, you already have like 6 people down the line who just generally expect you. They're not going to say it.
That
They're
you
not
need to
going to
have
give
your
you
things in
pressure,
order,
but
bro.
they'll just low key just say, what are you doing with your
What are
life?
you doing?
What's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on? What's going on?
But
with you?
with that topic, I think it's very important for men to know that where you are, you need to be happy.
Oh yeah.
You know,
At the end of the
it's
day,
not,
right?
it's not all of us that are going to be that high earning man earning so much money annually and what. If you were a carpenter, be proud of your art, be proud of where you are,
100%.
and I guarantee you there is someone out there. Here we're talking about the lady or partner. There's someone there that will resonate with you, that will love you and want you for where you are and how you are as a person.
Exactly.
And if you are an accountant, if you're a business owner, so all I'm just saying is we are different. Our gifts are different. Our skill sets are different. It's not all of us who are going to be there at the pinnacle. You know, so don't. I think my point there is don't get too pressured by expectations that maybe you at your level you're not able to meet.
Exactly.
Be happy with where you are. Be content, but not content enough to not push yourself more.
Of course.
Exactly.
naturally.
But I'm
healthy
saying
balance.
healthy balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be content enough to be happy with yourself and know that at your level you are trying your level best.
Yeah.
As long as you're trying your best, where you are is okay, right?
100%.
Because we got different talents. We got in life. I think we are going to be in different spaces where we are needed by society. So you need to be happy with where you are. You just need to always give your all. And I think as a male, that's enough.
Yeah.
And the right person for you will be a person that realizes that or sees that in you, that this man, this is where he is, but I know for him, he's doing and trying his level best to be at that position. Yeah.
I guess also once you, like you rightfully said, once you're content with where you are and you know exactly where you need to be, right?
Yeah.
You then have the power to be mindful of what you ingest, of what you expose yourself to,
Exactly.
of what you assimilate. You know,
that
especially in
self-awareness
this,
comes back in.
Yes, exactly.
True.
Especially in this day and age of social media and all of that, right? If you're mindful of who you are and where you're going, right? obviously you're going to soak everything in like a sponge. But then you're going to have the ability to say, you know what, this actually applies to me. I'm going to take it. It will help me grow. This does not apply to me. I'm going to discard it. So yeah, I second you on that point.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get into a quick discussion of each of the topics, and then you guys get to pick which one it is. So we have a hotline.
Man, I thought we already started the discussion.
Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I was already at my level. I was just thinking,
So we're
damn,
on,
man, what you want me
on
to
the
say?
pressure. Okay, so let's continue.
You're like exhausted your bundles, bro.
Yeah, like, oh, snap. So what else am I
My bundles are running out. No, so we can actually delve into the red flags because I really want to get into that one.
Okay, no, 100%.
And I think I was going to say our hotline, if you would like to pick a topic or you'd like to send a voice note just on your thoughts, we'd love to hear. We're going to be playing all your audio notes on the show. Not all of them, but
Actually,
most of them.
had you mentioned the fact that we are actually going to be asking for their feedback?
Yes.
On our WhatsApp line?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
great.
So we're going to need you to just let us know what you guys think about the show and pick the topic that you want us to sort of make the first official episode on our hotline number, which is +27 78 604 1376.
I'm sure it's going to appear
It's gonna be
somewhere
on the
there.
screen, right? Right, Ndio?
Yeah.
He's going to do his magic.
Cool. So the number on the screen. The number on the screen.
Also, we've got a few social pages there.
Absolutely.
We're on Instagram, the African Male Iris.
Right.
We're on YouTube, the African Male Iris. We're on Spotify, the African Male Iris.
And TikTok as
Also
well,
on
yeah?
TikTok,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
African Male Iris. It's going to be easy to find us. Eh?
Yes.
What have I left? Facebook, right? Facebook,
Yes.
the African Male Iris.
100%.
Right, so those are our platforms right now, and I'm sure they are coming up on the screen.
Cool.
You can find us on any of those platforms, whichever platform you're comfortable sending a voice note or a direct message. We are going to promise to answer every message.
Yeah.
We can do that, right?
Yeah, we can.
we can.
Yeah.
can.
We're going to answer every message, every post. We're going to be doing some shout outs. Whoever comments, whoever messages to us, we're going to give you a shout out on the show.
100%.
And we appreciate that. We're going to be very interactive with our audience, and we appreciate the support. Please like, please subscribe. We're here and we're here to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You wanted to say something on red flags,
No,
man?
look, I'm ready for the red flags. Bro. Firstly,
That's like your topic. You really want to dive into it, bro.
I do. No, the reason why I put the money in your can there was because the perspective that people get into a red flags discussion on is always
It's
an
quite skewed.
offensive one.
Oh yes.
So what I liked about
It's
what
never
what
about
Slim,
personal
what Slim
growth,
said
right?
was my red flags.
Uh-huh.
Because when you walk into that discussion and you say, I actually have a red flag.
Yeah.
I get insecure about this. That is a conversation that most people don't have. Because whenever it's a red flag, people are always pointing the finger.
Oh yeah.
And
So
for
it's
me, that's
your
what I
red
don't
flags.
appreciate. Because I'm like, yeah, it's easy to link up with your friends. And then, I come here and then I start to give you guys, stories about this person, how they did me wrong and they were toxic and this was a red flag I didn't see. And you then never get to hear the full side of the story. And every time you sit two people down who've had a disagreement, you're always going to find that there's some miscommunication happening somewhere because you're either like, for example, if it's relationships, like a romantic relationship, it's probably and this is me because I studied sociology. I respond to words more than to hints and signals, and I always trust what someone's gonna say.
Okay.
So if they're gonna say, I have a problem with this and this, that's exactly how I'm gonna take it.
How are you gonna take it? Okay.
But it's not every woman that's gonna be able to be comfortable enough to always express their feelings in
It's
that
very
way.
few women, bro.
Yeah.
Women actually expect you to know these things.
Yes,
They're like,
exactly.
like you're supposed to know. Why didn't you see that I'm unhappy?
Exactly.
Why didn't you do this?
Yeah, like when you're
and you're like, but she didn't tell me.
Like every guy has been in this situation where you're just like, yeah, but I didn't know. And then she's like, yeah, but you saw that I wasn't in a good mood.
should've asked.
You should like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like so I feel like whenever it comes to red flags, no one ever says these are mine.
Yeah.
It's always I
What
saw a red flag in you.
In you.
And this is toxic behavior, and
yeah.
this is that, and we never get to look in like inwardly.
That's
yeah.
like a deep moment.
Yeah.
It's a deep one.
Wizard Tenny, bro.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on.
There you go.
That's hectic, man. So in other words, what we're saying is for dating and relationships, if this is going to be a topic between two people who are still getting to know each other, and say what are my red flags, and probably the reason behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or personally, also you mentioning to say these are some issues that I have, or when it comes to relationship, I've got trust issues. What exactly what you're saying, that if we're open to each other about what we struggle with,
Right.
you know,
You can actually help each other grow.
Yeah,
you know,
and you
can
eliminate
actually
the red
help
flag
each other.
aspect from it. And
Yes, address those red flags. Remember the conversation we had before,
Yeah.
where I was saying that if you actually look back at your dating history, you can actually pinpoint your red flags, because there's a trend that is there. It's either you've been narcissistic, or you're insecure, and then you tend to behave in a certain way with each relationship that you've been in. But then if you afford yourself the opportunity to just have go through some kind of self introspection, and then look for those trends, right? They will help you with identifying those red flags, and then once you do, then you can go through the whole process of working towards them, and actually being in a comfortable situation to let your partner know that, you know what, I actually have these red flags.
Right.
Will you accept me with these red flags?
Right.
And after that, are you going to help me address
to-
these?
yeah,
Yes. Are you
to
willing
work
to
through
address
this?
these red
Yeah.
flags? Because it's not an overnight thing, because this is something that's been instilled in your character.
Yeah.
So you can't just wake up in the morning and then
Switch.
switch,
no
and then
more.
you're
Do
like,
it no
you know
more.
what, I'm no longer narcissistic.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of giving you and your partner that leeway and to grow,
Right.
and also just having it at the back of your mind that it's not going to happen overnight, and that it's work that the both of you have to put in to ensure that you have a healthy relationship.
Right. Okay, I have a question,
It's
Jens.
amazing. Yeah.
And I'm gonna put you on the spot. We didn't plan for this, so I'm happy to be doing
This,
these
this
kind of
nigga
things.
here.
And I'm gonna go first just to make it easier.
Yeah.
All right. Just know we need someone to sleep
Yes.
tonight, eh?
My thing is I'm the jealous type.
Okay.
All right.
I'm the jealous type. So
Okay.
I mean, I've been married.
Yeah.
I am married.
He's been married.
Hi, babe. Hi, babe. I was gonna say I've been married for 9 years.
Oh, okay.
You need someone
Nice
to
one.
sleep
I
Nice
don't know.
one. Nice
I don't know if I'm
comeback.
gonna make it home.
That's a nice comeback, bro.
Nice comeback.
We cut him short.
No, we did.
Finish this
So I feel like that's the sort of thing that people never say. Like no one ever leads with I'm the jealous type. Because once I say I'm the jealous type, you already want to understand, okay, what's coming from, And I think maybe because in like my early dating relationships, I was like naive. I was 19, I don't know, and then this chick I dated, then it got into like a long distance situation. And then she started seeing somebody else, and I was kind of feeling the vibe.
Oh,
but I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
sure. And so now it's like that was the most intense heartbreak because it was the first one,
It's
first
always
experience.
it's always
So
the
now
first one that's bad.
the next time some guy talks to my wife and then they just look like they are vibing
Yeah.
already,
Rubs you the
like
wrong way.
it just always goes back to
To that.
Yeah.
19 years.
yeah. But I mean, like it's obviously gotten better over the years because then
course,
when you
of
get comfortable
course.
with your person and you
Yeah.
sort of communicate these things,
Yeah.
and you almost feel like I think she's a safe space for me to actually tell her that this is why I'm like that. Then it makes sense, and I feel like that's my thing. So please go ahead with your things.
What's your question exactly?
Exactly.
My question is, jealousy is my thing.
Oh,
And that's where it came from.
oh.
What's
I get you.
your thing and where did it come from?
My thing, yeah.
I knew this was going to be
You put me on the spot.
I knew this was going to be juicy.
You really put me on the spot.
This nigga here.
I've had a couple of my partners say nonchalant. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
They say, you know what?
Oh, guys,
you just
Slim has
behave-
got some really big words. So
Come
nonchalant
on.
means he's not easily moved by things. He's
Yeah,
just like, okay.
You know, it's
we need a dictionary,
It's,
man.
yeah, it's one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And like you rightfully said, right?
Uh-huh.
It's definitely from past experiences, from past relationships.
But where did it
And
come
also,
from? What, like,
It came from a string of heartbreaks,
okay.
right?
So you kind of then
And then you kind of like just become numb
step
to
back.
everything.
Okay.
You know, and it's quite unfortunate that I realized that at a very late stage in my life, but I could have addressed those red flags earlier on.
Right,
Do you get what I mean?
right,
Like
right,
literally
right,
after a heartbreak, right? And then you have your self-introspection moment, and you're like, okay. The next relationship that I was in suffered because I haven't gotten over previous
Right.
relationship
Okay.
hurt,
Okay.
or I'm holding back because I'm afraid that I'm probably gonna go back into the same situation.
Oh, so I don't want
Yes.
to get into. I don't want to be
Yes.
too involved.
Yeah,
get
you don't wanna
so
be too
hyped
involved.
and then okay, I get it.
But the most messed up thing about it is that you think you're saving yourself from hurt, right? But you're going on a roller coaster, right, of breaking other people. So any relationship that you're gonna get into,
We don't have enough
relationship-
money.
any
that's
relationship that
deep.
you're gonna get
Yes.
into
We don't have enough money.
after
son.
that, right?
we don't have that kind of money. That is deep, Slim.
Yes.
Because you know
Any
what?
relationship that you can get into after that, right? You're not giving it your all.
Yes.
You
yes,
are.
Yes.
There's no sign of jealousy. Jealousy is a good thing to women, bro. It shows that you actually
Yeah,
love
they
her.
like
You don't
Yeah,
want to lose her.
but they need it in a certain amount.
In a certain amount,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, like there's a healthy kind of jealousy, which is like, oh, he's cute. He was really like being, you know.
yeah,
And I've heard like some of my female friends say things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
where,
like-
you know,
like
he's
what-
never, like he's never even jealous of like other guys. when
You
they
see
come
what
and
I'm
talk to
saying?
me.
You see what I'm
He
saying?
doesn't come and be like, yo, what's
Exactly.
happening
What are
here?
you doing?
Who's
Yeah,
this?
yeah. You see
I
where I'm coming
remember
from?
actually, my cousin Lorraine, shout out Lolo. I remember telling her some story. And I was like, yeah, and this guy is like, hey, you don't talk to me. He calls and he's like, you don't talk to my wife like that. And she was like, what does a wife do? And she was like, I like that, And then I realized that's something that, all women like appreciate because it's that alpha male thing coming
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and it's, hey, don't do that to my woman,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's some kind of vulnerability as well of this is a person I care about, so please don't mess around.
Don't exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I
Now
like what you said.
Imagine that missing in your relationship. Bro.
Yes.
Like a woman is going to feel like they're being shortchanged in the relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And then half of the time, right? Because you're also going about things nonchalantly, right? You're going to do a lot of things that. The best way that I can put it is.
Yeah.
You're not going to care about how it's going to affect your partner.
Right.
So you go on a string of relationships where you're just hurting partners because you don't care. Do you know what I mean? Because
Closed
you,
up on that,
yes,
yeah.
you're
That's
closed up.
actually-
You're
that's
like
actually
afraid to
very deep,
address that.
because you know what? It's I think it's a brilliant thing to be self-aware of. And it's like a next level thing to be able to realize what it actually does to somebody else
Indeed.
when you just don't take care of what's bugging you.
Oh yeah.
Because
Because
everybody
there's a lot
goes
of
through
projection
life.
after that,
yes,
bro.
and everybody goes through life thinking, you know what, I got hurt, so I'll just make sure that I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yeah.
But what you don't realize
Becomes
is
very
you're not going to
selfish.
count the cost of this coping mechanism that I'm setting up for myself so I don't get hurt. you're not necessarily going to think about what it's going to do to somebody
To the next person.
because you're
That's
always
so
looking out
true.
for number one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you then, like you're saying, in trying to protect yourself, you're also just passing on the same thing that was done to you. You're passing it on to
On to the
other
next
people, and
person.
they start doing the same thing.
You see what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like a chain. It's like a chain
Yes.
reaction, bro.
Yeah.
I can bet my life on this that every man, right, has gone through one or two relationships where they've intentionally or unintentionally hurt their partner, right? And then we all know what happens to a woman who's hurt. She's gonna have her 2-3 moments of I'm doing this because I don't care. And already she's going to affect an extra 3 guys, right? Those 3 guys are also going to affect the next 3 women that they're going to be with.
Exactly.
And then it becomes a chain of spreading hurt, you know? But imagine if all men were accountable for their actions. If all men stopped hurting their partners or vice versa, right? We kind of stop that chain of that pushing it forward to the next person
And spreading
pushing the
it.
hurt. Yes,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I think we're gonna have a lot of content to talk about when we do our first topic.
When we do this episode, it's definitely going to be.
I'll say this in brief because I think we're gonna cover it probably when we do the
full episode.
topic that our audience is going to choose. But I think from me, what I'd say is from the relationships that I had prior to my wife, my main issue was, I think, the identity aspect.
Okay.
And I was not yet at a place where I knew who I was or what I really wanted to do in my life. I was still trying to figure it out. And when you're figuring it out and you then bring someone into that, it kind of just messes your focus or, usually, you know what they say, that women most times mature faster than men.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yes.
So she's going to come with her ideas or how she sees certain things. And she brings that on you. And most things you will actually inherit. But are they really
The right
in
fits
line?
for you.
Are they really in line with who you are and what you actually want to do?
Right.
So you inherit her what she wants or what she sees. You inherit it, but you might not be able to carry it
Okay.
because you're still figuring things
Or
out.
you're still trying to figure it
So
out.
I think that was me before I was at a stage where I met my wife, and when I did meet her, I was a bit more sure, assertive about what I was doing, where I was going.
You were forced to do it. You got a wife now, man. And she's sitting there looking at you and saying, lead us, guide us,
I was-
you know.
but we'll go into it, I think, when we get into our first topic. And how, just that journey of how I was still finding myself. And, of course, I met some very good women, when I was dating. But when I became myself and knew where I was going, I think my wife just came at the right time and we resonated well together, and rest is history. It's 11 years later, we're here.
Nice.
I love that.
No, I think
feeling,
the identity. Okay, I think now we're getting into the identity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm just checking since you guys are overtaking me. I'm just, watch over the way to
But guys,
discuss
me wasn't. But guys, wasn't that deep, guys.
No.
Okay, let's give you a 10.
I don't want pity money. I'll
Fine.
wait. I'll wait.
Fine. I'll wait. Okay. Okay. No, but I like what you said that about identity, because I feel like the one resonating factor under all of these topics, which is one of the options, which is the identity of the African male, is the level of self-awareness that we need to have early. Because if you notice, all of our stories with the red flags have to do with the fact that you were still I was still trying to find myself.
Find yourself, yeah.
I know that I loved a certain way when I was 19, but that's not the way I love now.
It's different.
But it was very pure at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like no holding back. This is it.
Yeah.
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 And then you're trying to figure yourself out. So as you grow older, you're learning. And I feel like sometimes we need to give ourselves the grace to be able to say,
To learn.
bro, like, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, bro, do your best, because that's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
And
I've
then
heard?
have peace. Give yourself peace. I'm gonna try my best, and if I fail, I'm gonna learn, and then I'm gonna try and do better. And then I feel like we don't have a lot of that, so it takes us a long time. Like what Slim was saying, that it took you a long time to actually realize. Wait, I need to take a step back and realize why this relationship was a. But Slim, you're nonchalant. Like you're not really. I feel like you're not really in it. And then you look at the second relationship and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So I feel like we don't do enough of that.
And you know what? Now that you've said that, right, I think it's brought up an important aspect in terms of what the modern day African man should be doing for coming generations.
Right.
So, like you rightfully said, we've grown up in a situation whereby you have to figure things out for yourself.
Yes.
We've lost like the modern African way of living has lost a very important cultural aspect of mentorship. We've lost a very important aspect of having someone that you look up to, someone that you can approach whenever you feel like you need guidance in a certain way. Or rather, before you even know that you need guidance, before you even want to approach that person, there's already an environment, a safe one for that matter, whereby, if you expose yourself to that environment, or if you're within that environment, there are people that have lived life before you. There are people that have gone through whatever it is that you're about to go through, and they know exactly what's happening and how best to address certain situations. We've kind of lost that now. In earlier times, like forefathers, right? You would have situations where you have gatherings, right? And then in a gathering, you have like what is it called? Like a panel discussion, as it were, where elders sit down and then they have they discuss family issues, they discuss life, and you as the potential future leaders, you as potential future leaders are sitting there, rather not contributing, but you're just soaking in knowledge and wisdom. We don't have that anymore. You don't have that anymore. So I feel like if you're exposed to an environment like that from a very early stage, right, there's so much that you can learn from other people's experiences that you don't have to put yourself through. Do you get what I mean? And that kind of accelerates the rate at which you grow as a man. It accelerates the rate at which you become that responsible male that's in the community, that's going to take over the people that were there before you. And then, put yourself in a position whereby your mandate as someone who needs to mentor the kids that are coming after you.
And what I like about that is marrying the history of what an African male used to be, because those communal level village kind of meetings always brought accountability. Like when you read about the history of Africans, it was always, there's a family, and then there's a family unit, and then there's a bit of a community, and then there's a village. So there's a chief, there's a headsman, then there's a king, like provincial level, or then national level, right? And there was always if there was a theft, then the community would meet,
comes together,
and then we've got some witnesses. This person saw this guy, so we would like you to come and answer to these accusations. So it's almost like we still had our own system of checking. And because of that, you also had social status. If someone was good at farming, there'd be famous for it. If someone was good at hunting, they'd be famous for it. I mean, it's in our history,
It's in the
you know.
history.
And I feel
And
like
you know what?
a modern version of that is what we failed to then create ourselves when this whole colonialization thing came in. We failed to sort of transition into let's still maintain structures of. Because now, I mean, like I'm really into personal development, business, entrepreneurship, real estate, like I said earlier. And when I read a lot of those books and follow these people, I realize that they carried a lot of their culture
Along
through
with them.
time, and so they have a low-key way of building wealth
That's
that
true.
they don't lose.
That's true.
They
You know what's funny, bro?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
But have you realized that the Jewish man, the average Jewish man anywhere in the world, when they're stepping from being a child into adulthood, they have their bar mitzvah,
Yeah.
right? Every Jewish dude has
Anywhere in
that.
the world.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where they are, right?
Exactly.
If you notice, your Asian men, anywhere they are in the world, they still behave Asian. They still carry their culture around.
They do.
But what about the average African dude
It's-
who's out there in the world?
It's a sad,
What do
yeah,
they have?
And I feel like
What
we
do they have, bro?
I feel like we, as African males, we're suffering from a big identity crisis.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why we don't like progress as quickly as we think we should, because we, like in just the business arena, we are always studying the Jews, and then we observe the Greeks, and then you observe the Islam community, and then you realize they actually have a way of doing
Doing
business.
things, yes.
And it's and
Across generations.
it's not this is our circle,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's a community thing where
Yes.
they actually have opportunities of, okay, so this family has been buying buildings, so they have access to these buildings. So whoever wants to do business in the community can come and say, we know you own this building, we were thinking we can come and do this, and then they'll be like, okay, cool, let's give you a shot. I remember this because I got a sense of this in one of the businesses that I started with a friend of mine, and we had kind of like our mentor, great guy called Dr. Lene, and he had a property. We wanted to start an event, and he was like, I'm going to give you this property and you guys can run it for a year, no rent. Just prove the concept of the business to me, and then I can advise you on how to grow. I was like, what?
That's amazing.
And we had a chance to prove the concept of a business, and we absolutely did, and the thing popped off. You know, it actually became very
It
successful.
actually became
Yeah,
big,
but that
yeah.
was because we were standing on the shoulders of someone who's fought a bigger fight.
oh yeah.
And so, what that says to me is, in whatever I'm going to achieve, it cannot be just for me. I need to be able to do exactly the same thing for somebody else. And I feel like,
it's true in everything.
Yes.
If you start something and you're doing it for the greater good, it will succeed.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, that's true.
That's what
true.
we need. What we need to inherit in
Oh,
our
yeah.
culture.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
As an African male. But
That's true. You know what's
let's not give too much, guys.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Because
we need to
I was just about to dive into quite a deep into another
No, so
Fundraising.
There, these are our three main topics.
Yes.
Individual. Okay. What is it? Self-identity.
yeah,
right?
the identity of the African male.
Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your red flags.
The red
as well
flags.
as the pressures men face.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are three topics. Please come through to our WhatsApp number 078-604-1376.
Yeah.
That's +27. That's South Africa. And social media pages, African Male Iris. Oh yeah, it's up
Yes.
there. Yeah. So that's
Don't
That's our
forget,
first step.
don't forget like the important bits that come after.
yeah. You know, it's not only we're gonna add a few segments to our show.
Yes.
Each one of us has a particular segment we're going to be covering. I can start with my own. So being a DJ, of course, I do many events, and what I'm going to be doing through the podcast is just to raise awareness of some establishments. Men can go with their families, with their kids. As fathers, you know,
Are you going to give us playlists, bro?
Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? You know, as fathers, sometimes you do want to take your kids out. You want to give your wife a break or your partner a break sometimes. Let me take the kids out. I'm going to be giving you some ideas of where to go as dads, where you can have your draft beer and the kids are being taken care of with childminders and things. You can even bring your friends along. Just say, guys, just bring your kids. Let's have a dad's day out. Let's give the wives a break or the partners a break.
Yeah.
You know, even like chill areas as men. Sometimes you want to gather as men, have a serious talk. Just like this venue we are today, Off the Grid Bar and Kitchen. This is by Cambridge.
It's a beautiful
Crossing
place, man.
Shopping Center in
really
Sandton.
beautiful.
They've
Yeah.
given us a venue for our podcast, and we're
Yes.
very grateful for that. Thank you so much, Off the Grid.
Yes.
And,
And a special shout out to Heineken.
special shout out
Yes,
to
yes,
Heineken.
yes, yes,
They
yes.
also sponsor Off the Grid Bar and Kitchen, and we're using their space within the bar for today's podcast. It's a very big place. We'll be showing you snippets of Off the Grid. They've got a lot of things that they do here. They've got quiz nights. They've got speed dating.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Speed
right,
dating.
right.
They've got karaoke nights here at Off the Grid. Very fun, very nice. And it's a very nice place for you to come through and have a nice time, date nights and stuff, as well as men just hanging out, having a draft beer. They do a lot of sports. They've got TVs all over the show. And they host a lot of football matches, Formula One, rugby, and the list is endless. So,
Speaking of
yeah.
which, you mentioned football, right?
Yeah.
Do you have something cooking for people? Do you have something for the crowd?
Thank you for that. It was going to pass.
Yes.
So,
Slim is on it, bro.
yeah, for all the football lovers, we've actually created a fantasy football league for the African male Iris. I just want to check what the code is here. All right. So we've got a football.
Bro,
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Pray and I.
Yeah, you need to explain what a fantasy football
dogs,
is.
because
okay.
we're not soccer people,
we're
bro.
not soccer
We're
people,
not
we're just
soccer
like-
people.
So these guys can literally tolerate football, but they're not football.
For
guys.
conversation's sake.
For conversation.
You can't walk in about, chill with mates, and
And not know anything.
be oblivious to
Yeah.
soccer chat, bro. You can't.
So this one will be based upon the English Premier League, right? So most people here in Africa, we resonate with Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Manchester City. For Manchester City, those are mainly new fans because Man City's just been winning currently. But we have a fantasy.
What's your team, bro?
My team is Chelsea. I'm a blue. So I'm sure one
It's been
podcast you'll see me with a
Right.
Chelsea guy. Yeah.
When
It's
was the
been
last time you
difficult
guys
for
won?
you,
I
bro.
think I'll buy
It's
you
been
guys
difficult.
Chelsea. You might as well be Chelsea fans. Why not? So yeah, so we've got a fantasy football league. It's called the African Male. Please join our league. We're gonna have different prizes for you to win. So basically, on a month-to-month basis, whoever's on top of the league, aspects like that, we're going to be giving away prizes. Whether it's merchandise from African Male, Iris, and sometimes it will be a money prize. So please join our league. We'll also look at who's going to join our league first. There's definitely a prize for you for that. And our code to join the league is 1ZU6R1. 1ZU6R1. So please join our league, and we'll be happy to go through the whole season with you and many prizes and to look forward to. Right?
Yes.
And,
And then Slim, your
Slim,
segment.
you have a segment of your own.
I thought you were gonna go first, prayer, but it's okay. I guess. I was nominated for fitness.
Of course.
That's Slim trying to be humble.
No. The thing is, I've
You see
been.
him pop his chest out. He was like, I was nominated. I was nominated for fitness.
I mean, I've been a fitness junkie all my life. I used to play professional cricket before, and then I guess I just grew a love for the gym, and just staying fit, and for the obvious reasons that if your body is in its or in the right shape, right, so is your mind and your spirit. So I believe that fitness is very important or it's a very important aspect that an African male should have in their life, and I'm going to be speaking a lot around gym routines, diet.
Yeah.
That's an important
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
Protein shakes.
And then yes,
What to eat, what not to eat.
no steroids.
No steroids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. And then just how you can stay fit in the gym and outside of the gym.
Nice.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man.
Nice.
Looking forward to that because I've been getting a lot of pointers from Slim over the years. So I'm happy he's on the podcast because it's going to help benefit me. It's going to
We're gonna
benefit
get
us.
free. We're gonna get free consultation.
Free consultation.
Yeah.
I guess you know what,
Yeah.
I think it's a transition from what I was before to what I am now.
This guy was small in high school. Eh?
No way.
Oh yeah, me and
Yeah,
Yeah,
Slim, we
because
went to the
Slim.
went to
Yes,
the same-
that's where the name came from.
Yeah, pretty much.
This guy was small.
But
he was
what's,
smaller than
what's
me.
funny is that it's slim, not in the sense that I was slim, but slim because I'm now the way that I am right now.
What? Slim.
So it's a mental play in terms of where I was before.
Ah.
You get what I mean?
That's
Yes.
deep.
Yes.
Nice.
Pretty
Nice,
much.
nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
Yes, and I'm going to be doing business. We're going to discuss business. We're going to discuss some tips. We're going to discuss, businesses that you can start without too much money. We're going to discuss those tips. We're going to throw like some suggestions. We're also going to get some guests who are going to come and talk about their businesses and promote their products. So if you are interested in that, you can also just get in touch through our socials or our WhatsApp number. I'm mainly like a real estate guy, so I invest mainly in Airbnb right now. But I'm obviously gonna try and get into the other strategies. But I run an Airbnb management company, so I'll be giving a lot of tips on that, sharing a lot of stories on that, and then I also run an event called the Real Estate Link Up. And so, we're probably going to give away some tickets to that for people who are interested in that sort of thing. You can come through. And,
We get free tickets, right?
You guys get free tickets, yeah, of course. Of course. If you continue to.
Oh. There's a tax to it.
so
No, just like I have a play.
It's a bribe. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but
there
basically
you go.
we're going to be running these segments just so we can give you guys more value. So if you're interested and you'd love to partner with us, please get in touch with us. We'd love to get to know you and see how we can promote any entertainment places where that can host families or date night with a partner. Tino's going to be handling that.
oh, the
And
boys
then-
hangouts.
Yeah, and if you have a gym and you'd like us to sort of give a shout out and promote it or come through and check it out, and we can definitely do that, and Slim will be handling that. And if it's also going to be about business, making money, whatever it is, I'm definitely going to be your guy. So yeah,
And
we're in for some fun times.
100%. We really want to promote up and coming businesses.
Yeah.
Whatever you're into, if you
Yeah.
feel, if you feel,
I hope someone noticed that we also are going to be rolling out some merch.
some merchandise.
Yeah, so you're going to be seeing a lot of our t-shirts and hoodies and
can order.
sweaters and stuff. So we're going to be letting you know more about that. But right now, what we really need you guys to do is just let us know which topic you want to be the first official episode of the African Male Iris podcast, and then we'll get into that. And then as we roll out more episodes, we'll give you guys more.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, first episode, man.
Yeah.
Done and dusted.
Well
Done
done,
and
Jess.
dusted.
Well
Well
done.
done. Well done.
Yep.
Slim,
And
you
that's
made it through,
something-
bro.
Made it through.
Yeah, man. And Slim was talking. Slim was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna be shy."
I am naturally I'm a shy individual.
Yeah, no, I-
very reserved.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm reserved too.
I'm glad we
What?
I'm glad we're creating that culture of just saying well done to each other, and
Absolutely.
that's something that for African males
we
it
need
lacks
to do
sometimes.
more often. Yeah, we need
Just
to
to
do
tell
it more.
you, dude, well done.
Well done. That was a good job. Yeah.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just that gratitude sometimes can go a long way. Someone
Oh, yeah,
just wants
that's
to
true.
hear it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just to hear it. Be encouraged.
That's true. Prayer was telling us. Remember the one time that he told us about his story about him and his friend,
Yeah.
where he was expressing gratitude.
Gratitude.
Oh
for just-
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, without going into too much of the next topic, I think just as a side note, I think this is very important that we bear in mind to always give your brothers in your tribe the props that they deserve
Yeah.
in just the one thing that you think that's very impressive.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like the way Tino is running his DJ business is impressive, it actually goes a very long way to say, Tino, you know what, this is actually pretty solid, bro. Like, I really respect that. I think it goes a very long way,
Yeah.
you know, because just for the mental health of men, just to be able to learn a culture of just gratitude, because it also then helps with that gratitude, like what you were saying about the identity. Because sometimes you bash yourself so hard because you're in comparison with these people that you've put as pedestals, right?
Yeah.
And when you don't move with gratitude for what you can do and what you're doing already, you sort of belittle your own efforts. And the moment someone says, well done, bro, that's like, I remember, guys, like I had just gotten a new client for my Airbnb business. And I wasn't so sure if he was going to be happy with what I'm doing. So I was just like, I'm just going to give him my best and hope that he sees my value. And from the second booking that we got, you know, he sent me a message and he's like, you know what, Prayer Soul, you're a good man. And you are such a professional. Bro,
That goes a long
like
way.
you don't understand what that did for me. I
Skyrocket.
was like forwarding that Adam to
Oh,
him. I was
yeah,
like,
straight run.
this
See?
is my client who said
Yeah,
this shot.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
and then I realized that's like the little things that we definitely need to sort of keep ourselves healthy and keep ourselves growing, because it sort of
encourage
then
each
helps
other.
me move with confidence in my business. Like, you know what? I'm not just trying something that's not working. I
Yeah,
actually
I'm
am good at
actually-
this.
yeah.
And this guy sees the value. So now when I move with confidence, next pitch or whatever, you're gonna trust that this guy probably does a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a very important thing to always pass around. So once again, gents, well done.
Well done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well
Alright,
done.
it's
Yes.
a wrap.
Yeah.
Join us, please, for the next episode where we actually get the feedback from you guys. Please remember to get back to us on our WhatsApp number 078 604 1376, and on Instagram, the African Male Iris, Facebook,
The African Male
Iris, Spotify,
The African Male
Iris, YouTube, the African Male
Yes.
Iris. We're on Twitter as well, but we'll see how far we go with that one.
We
Yeah.
might also be on Threads.
Oh yeah, and Insta
Threads are okay because
They're safer.
yeah, it's sanitized. Twitter is wicked, man.
Guys, I think we're going to Twitter, guys.
Twitter is wicked.
Yeah, but I did create an account for it.
Yeah,
so we'll
okay.
just see how far we
Yeah.
can go with it. And because we do have people that love Twitter. So
Oh yeah.
we're gonna be there and we'll
Let's
post across.
We can't
We'll
afford to
post.
lose that.
And we will answer to comments. Please be free to comment, to send messages. We really want the feedback. And thank you for joining us, and see you next week.
It's a wrap.
Cheers.
Man, long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take, got no votes to make. We don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah.